So you just agreed to being the Dungeon Master, and you know nothing about this weird yet awesome game called Dungeons & Dragons. Well, I'm creating this series in order to help people just like you acquire and hone the skills to be the best Dungeon Master you can be. So, come along on this adventure with me as we go over Dungeon Master training. Hey everyone, it's Matt with Holistic Homebrew, and today we're going to go over how to make a Pantheon. In order to get started making a Pantheon for your world, you need to choose what type of Pantheon you're going to do. There's many different types ranging from a loose Pantheon, tight Pantheon, monotheism, dualism, animism, to things like mystery cults and, forces and philosophy. The most common type of Pantheon that people end up choosing is a loose Pantheon. So something like the Dawn War deities. A loose Pantheon is where you have a multitude of deities that are controlling aspects of existence. For example, you have Avandra, the goddess of change and luck, and Ayun, the goddess of knowledge. These deities will control their portfolio inside your world. The next common type of Pantheon would be a tight Pantheon. In a tight Pantheon, you have a multitude of gods that follow a singular ethos. For example, you would have, in Greek and Roman mythology, you'd have Zeus, Athena, Hera, all those different gods. In Norse mythology, you'd have Odin, Tyr, Freya, those types of gods. Most of the time, in a tight Pantheon, they are working together in some way, and there's normally a father figure or a leader of some sort. So in Greek and Roman, you have Zeus, and in Norse, you would have Odin. There's also many different types of Pantheons that you can create. Now, you can create a monotheistic religion where many people pray to one god, most of the time denying that any other gods exist. There's also dualism. Dualism is when two forces that are going against each other, most of the time being a positive or negative energy. So something like life and death, light, dark, stuff like that. And then there's also animism. Animism is where there's spirits in everything, similar like in Pocahontas, where trees have their own spirit, the rocks have their own spirit, dogs, cats, people, everything has their own life spirit. Now, I've never personally used mystery cults before. However, I do know that other people have created them. A mystery cult is going to be a secretive religious organization that has rituals based off initiation. And the last type of Pantheon that you can create would be forces and philosophies. This is where people have their own willpower, gives them magic. So, for example, a ranger believes in nature so much that they start having the ability to have magic. Because loose and tight Pantheons are the most common types of Pantheons that you will use inside your game, I'm going to demonstrate how to make that type of Pantheon. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create one god for each of these 8 domains: death, knowledge, life, light, nature, tempest, trickery, and war. So if you want to get a little bit more in depth with it, I like to create one good and one evil god in each of these 8 domains. So then you have a good and evil presence for each of those domains. So you can have a good god of knowledge and an evil god of knowledge. Once you've created all your deities, now you're going to start giving them names and personalities. So for example, Zeus is known to be a very ladies' man type of god. He has coitus with many, many things, including animals. Now, if you're having trouble creating names and personalities, you can always just borrow deities from different pantheons. So you can mix in Norse and Greek and even the Dawn War deities. As long as you have a god for that domain, you're set. So feel free to borrow deities from different pantheons. So I like to have a minimum of 8 deities whenever I create it. You want at least one deity for each of those 8 domains. But try not to go above 20. 20 is where I tend to stop, just because after then it's just too many things to memorize, and your players probably aren't going to be paying attention to all, 50 deities. So try not to go above 20 deities. Now, if you want to go even more in depth with creating your Pantheon, you can set up a divine rank for your deities. So you can have a greater deity. These will be deities that can't be summoned. They almost are always separated from the mortal existence. You can also have something like a lesser deity. They can grant magic and spells to clerics and paladins, Then you can have something like a quasi-deity. These are deities that are unable to answer prayers and grant spells to clerics or paladins or any other class. And the last part you're going to want to create for your deities is a symbol. It can be something very basic like 3 lines, or it can be something more intricate like a moon with a sickle going through it. There's many different types of symbols that you can create for your gods, so try not to think too hard on it. Just kind of start drawing some random symbols and go as you want with that. And that's how you get started creating your own Pantheon. Now this is going to be one of many videos I'm creating down the line for Dungeon Master training. So go ahead and stay along for the adventure as we go over all the different things that we need to do to make you the best Dungeon Master you can be. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and then if you guys have any questions or more information that you'd like to learn, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I can't wait to give you guys more in this series. Until then, keep on rolling.